Hello everyone, I'm Georgia Henderson, Public Information Director for the City of Douglas, and welcome to the Douglas on My Mind show. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to listen in to some people as they talk to us about some upcoming events in the community where you can get involved. We'll be back with more Douglas on My Mind right after this break. We're back from break, and joining me on the show today is Cathy Threatt, who is the chairperson for the American Cancer Society Relay for Life event. Cathy, welcome.
Good to be here.
Glad to have you here, and you are being the chairperson organizing this event. So if you would tell everyone, when is a local Relay for Life event?
Okay, we're gearing up. The teams have been doing all their hard work, and in another week and a half, and that time will fly really fast, on Friday, April the 29th, 2016, for one last time, we're told, we will be at the track by the Coffee Board of Education beside Hardee's, and we will start up our event that night at 6 p.m., so a week from this coming Friday.
And each year you have a different theme. What is your theme for this year?
This year we have a fun theme. Some of our youngsters picked it out. It's called Tune Out for Cancer, and the Tune Out is spelled T-O-O-N, as in the word cartoon. So they are using the characters from all kinds of cartoons from eons ago up to now. I can't tell you some of the heroes are from now, but the heroes that would help us fight cancer, and they're going to have some of those characters out at the relay that night as their little heroes that they vote to consider to be their team partners to tune out cancer in 2016.
Well, that's an awesome theme. You brought a t-shirt today. Can you hold it up?
Sure.
To show everyone kind of what it would look like?
This is mixing today with the last year's. I said I wanted to do the 1950s TV screen. My daughter says, "Mom, you need to get with the current century and use the LED, TVs." Well, we won out with the old-timey ones, and those of you that are kind of in my age bracket, you remember the TV sets with the legs on them and the bunny rabbit ears up here, and you put aluminum foil on those to get better reception. And we have our theme with Tune Out Cancer, and we have all kinds of little characters, SpongeBob, and any of you remember Mighty Mouse? Not Mickey and Minnie, but Mickey and Minnie are in here, and we have Bugs Bunny and Fred and
we're going to tell our age. We keep saying we know these characters.
I do know them, and I'm proud of it. And that's the back of the shirt, and this is the front with our ACS logo. This shirt is being sold by the Relay for Life Committee, and the funds for this one helps us fund some of our local expenses, like our trophies for our teams who really work hard and raise the money, and for our survivor dinner for our cancer survivors and one guest. And that helps defray those costs, along with all of the tremendous support that we get from the community that give us stuff for free, but there are always some additional costs. And when we sell these t-shirts, the funds that we raise from that defray that cost, and then we don't have to take anything from the ACS money, and so everything that we raise on the ACS side gets to stay on the books, and it helps.
And these shirts will only be available the night of, or there's certain locations
in town? You get me orders, I will have orders filled every Friday everybody. And my teams have been selling them like crazy. We're really hoping a lot of the kids will get these shirts because they are such a cool looking shirt, and they've got all the little cartoon characters. They start at $12, and then extra large and up, it goes up $1.50 each, or $2 every shirt, because the extra material on the shirt costs more, so we have to go up. And we've sold about 75 of them so far, so that's really helping us with the Survivor Dinner expenses that's coming up very soon.
Well, speaking of the Survivor Dinner, tell us some of the activities you have planned for the survivors and some of the caregivers and family members. Starting
off this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Hope Social Hall in Broxton. Some individuals from that church, as well as the Coates and Clark crew, are hosting our Survivor Dinner. The survivors that we have listed that have registered over the years, they've all received invitations, and they can come to the dinner and bring a guest with them. This dinner is totally free to them, and it also gives us an opportunity to get them to register, and then we will have a t-shirt for them the night of the relay, because they are our stars, and the first lap is our Survivor lap, and they will be given a t-shirt. And then we encourage individuals, if you have a loved one that is battling cancer or has battled cancer, and whether they survived or not, we have them in honor or in memory, and that luminary program will be the highlight of the evening of the relay night. Okay. Now, if someone wants to get a team in, because you mentioned about your team, how does that work? You contact me, and we give the information, and you tell us how many people you want to put on your team, and then you just start raising money and donate it to ACS, and it goes on our chart, and it helps us towards our goal. Would you like to share who some of your teams are? Yeah, and I'm going to read them off, because I don't want to leave anybody out, because they will beat me up this Thursday night. We have Team Scent, Southwire, Walmart Distribution, Walmart Superstore, Walgreens is on board this year, West Green Elementary, Indian Creek Elementary, Coffee Middle School, the Relay Committee, Ambrose Elementary, Broxton Mary Hay School, True Praise Worship Center, and Zaxby's is coming on. All right. And as you can kind of tell in that list, there were a lot of schools. Majority of our teams anymore are schools. They are students. Is this the norm of the teams you normally have, or? Sometimes you have one or two others. I won't beat you up, but the city and the hospital usually are on board as well. And sometimes if they're not a team level, because they don't have time to get a team together, then we encourage them to do a corporate sponsor. And the corporate sponsor levels start at $5,000 and go down to $250. And you get different perks to go along with each one of those sponsorship levels. And we've got a little over $8,000 in corporate sponsors this year. And those people are Southwire, again, and Douglas Lions Club, Medicine Cabinet, Murphy Eye Center, Anderson GMC, Elixir MD and Elixir, McCurry Daniels, Dewey Hayes Senior and Junior, and PCC Airfoils. Okay. And then we have a few others that are making donations. Those donations are going straight to the Survivor Dinner, so that won't count on their ACS money. That goes straight towards our expenses. So we have some individuals that are doing in-kind donations as well as monetary donations, and both entities are a big asset and help us out. Both are needed. Yes, yeah. If you don't have to spend any money to get it, then it's a blessing. Well, what are some ways, Cathy, that the community could get involved to help to honor their loved ones or those still battling cancer? First and foremost, like I mentioned, the luminary bags. Besides being there emotionally and physically and in prayer for your loved one, these battles, being a two-time cancer survivor and being a caregiver as well for loved ones, it is a long journey, and it has a lot of ups and downs. So being in support of that loved one first and foremost, but throughout our our relay event. The main thing about this relay, yes, it is to raise money, but mostly it's to give support and encouragement to those battling cancer so that they don't feel alone, and give them hope and let them know that there are lights at the end of the tunnel. There are strides being made in the research, and that's what ACS is about. It primarily with the funds is to raise awareness and let people find out early detection ways. The earlier you find out that you have cancer, the better your odds are of not having to have such invasive treatments. And the different treatment levels have come up. But to help your loved one and remember them, our main thing is the luminary bags, and that is such an emotional event that night, and it's so beautiful. We have bags that are white, and we put their name on them in honor or in memory. Those are $5. And then we have the gold one that have the stars all stamped in them, and those are $25, and they're in honor or in memory. And we put sand in the bottom of them, and our Boy Scout group this year is coming in, going to put the sand in the bottom of the bags, and then we will put a candle in them. And at dark, we will light those candles, and we will call out every name that has been honored with a luminary bag.
You have them lined around the track.
And they're lined around the track. It is a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and I think we're going to let go with balloons again this year. And a lot of people say, well, there's so many names, and some people get 5 or 6 bags. I'm going to tell you right now, if they get 30 bags, that name's going to be called out 30 times. 30 people wanted that name honored, and it deserves it. You know, if we could call them out 1,000,000 times, we would have. If we had to, we would. That is the culmination of our evening to honor our cancer survivors and those who did not win the battle, and pay homage to their families in their loss or in their support of their loved one.
Well, back to the teams for a moment. If someone wanted to get a team in, sometimes they're challenged with ideas and some ways to raise the funds. What would you recommend?
Think outside the box so that it's fun. One thing is the easiest one and the funnest to think of, and it was thought up several years ago, and it raised a lot of money. The Coffee High just had their prom dance this last weekend while I was in Atlanta, but I saw all these pictures on Facebook. But the little kids have a morp dance.
That's right.
That's prom spelled backwards for those who can do that real easily. And they get to go in little Sunday best, and they get to taste the initial thing, and it gets them geared up for the prom years later, where they get to wear the big girl dance dresses and the tuxedos. And it is just really fun to watch the kids dress up, and I have several grandkids in that age group, you know. And this year they had the red carpet event, and they pretended like they were Hollywood night. And so the girls were wearing the long gowns, and I'm looking at them like, no, go back to the short leg dresses. A little bit too much for me, but that's one of the really fun ways. One of the teachers came to me, and she said she put a milk jug on her desk. The kids were just putting money in there. Do you know how much money you can get in a milk jug? Depends on what coin denominations you put in there. Dress down day is fabulous because people love to not have to wear dressy clothes. If they can wear their blue jeans and a shirt, yeah, they pay for those out the yin yang. One school gave me $1,000, so the teachers, and they get to dress down for 40 days with the fee. There's t-shirt sales. They come up with their own t-shirts. One of the teams is having a golf tournament. The other ones have inter-office raffles. They'll get items. They have inter-department competition. A really fun one that the city of Douglas did for several years was they painted a toilet.
Yes.
And this gosh awful looking toilet would appear in someone's yard at the cost of $25.
You have it.
And then you had to pay $25 to move it along, and you can name the victim for the next round. Someone asked me, could they steal it? And I said, look, the city's not on board and they're not doing it. And that's an easy way. And then you have the luminary bags, of course, 5K runs, barbecue plates, bake sales, and dunking booths, and the infamous jail cell.
Yes.
I got arrested last year, and I swear the guy was really, really legitimate, and I'm sitting there thinking, what have I done? I haven't broken any law. Come with me, ma'am. And then I'm realizing I'm going to the CCA jail cell. They are one of the teams, so the jail cell, I'm sure, will be back again this year. And in supporting the communities, everybody in the community, when you see the teams having their events, endorse them, support them financially, tell people about them, and